Well, this has been a really exciting week for me as a clinician. I'm Barbara Dahm, and I have been treating people who stutter for many, many years. It's so many years that I'm seeing second generation clients. And this week, I had two cases where I have treated one generation, and now the younger generation is showing risk for stuttering. Parents come to me because what they did in therapy helped them so much. And that's what I want to talk to you about today is what if your child begins to stutter? And if you stutter, there is that possibility. Even if you don't stutter, there's that possibility. But it shouldn't really get you uptight and upset, because we do know that there is a way to help a child develop so that they will be using their speech production system naturally and easily. We know that when people are learning to speak, there are many things going on. And we don't just learn to speak until the age of 2. We learn to speak until the researchers say, until even up into the early 20s, 18, 19, 20. So that is the case because our brain has to do many things in order to speak. And sometimes there is not a synchronization between all of the different elements of speaking. And when that happens, stuttering can happen. There is probably a tendency of some people to develop their ability to speak in a way that causes a period of stuttering. Don't let that upset you. First of all, we know that speaking is an automatic process, and everyone who speaks does sometimes speak automatically. So that already shows us that the ability is there. So, okay, you're a parent, your child is beginning to stutter. What do? Well, first of all, help your child to enjoy speaking. Pay attention to your child. Don't start giving them advice. Oh, take a deep breath. Wait a minute. Say that again. Don't give them instructions of how to speak. Because even if they were good instructions, the child might interpret them in a way that is going to make him control his speech even more. Loving to talk is the best thing. So that's number 1. Help your child to love to express himself. Number 2, you can help by doing some of the things that children normally like to do. One thing is singing. We do need our voice to speak. We need our voice to be able to express our moods. And our voice is really what does it. So play singing games with them. Sing things. Help them to realize that they have a voice. Let them have experience using their voice. Sometimes just play a game like, let's imitate each other. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be sad. Play imitation games like that, just with the voice. And let your child have an opportunity to use his voice. Another thing we know is that when we speak, we don't think about the words. So you want your child to begin to be aware that speech is a progression of sounds. So play rhyming games, sound games, making up maybe a language for the fun of it, like let's just talk nonsense to each other. We used to do that when we were kids, and I did it with my grandson when he was little, even though he didn't stutter. But we just liked doing it together. Don't do this as a speech lesson. Do it as a fun thing. Make it fun to rhyme. Make it fun to change different sounds within a word and just see what would come of it. If I said, instead of computer, taputa. Oh, isn't that funny? Let's pretend that there are different sounds. And we could just do things like that for the fun of it. These are the basic things the children need to know. Of course, listen to your child. And if your child is really having difficulty saying something, just say it clearly. Like if he wants to say, I want to go to the, and you know it's the ball game, let him finish. But if it's really difficult, you could say ball game, making it really clear. Don't ask the child to repeat it. If the child does say it, I want to go to the ball game, you could say, oh, okay, well, let's go to the ball game. And repeat it really clearly so that maybe if you do this enough times, the child will begin to understand that it's not the whole word that has to be said in one fell swoop, but a progression of sounds. So those are some of the things that you can do. There are many more suggestions, but my biggest suggestion is just love that child and let that child know that you're there to listen to him or her and that what he has to say is really important. See you in the next video. Oh, and do I have to tell you? Be sure to subscribe and to ask for notifications by clicking on the bell. See you in the next one.